Speaking of cancelled, Tessa Blanchard has been cancelled.
Oh, I can talk about this debate. This Impact blog left just before we talked about Tessa Blanchard. Oh,
it was announced. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday or Thursday earlier this week. Tessa Blanchard had been released from her contract. They didn't use the word specifically fired. They put released from her contract with Impact Wrestling, stripped of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, me specifically, I thought it was around the connotations.
Sorry, Mr. Impact Blog is back in because we're here about Tessa.
Impact.
Right, yeah, right. Let's do this. Come on, let's slag her off together. I thought when I first saw it, the connotations of it was that obviously with everything that's going on with the speaking out movement, she'd bullied female staff in the past. We thought I thought maybe it was connotations of that. No, apparently she's just really, 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 really difficult. Unacceptable and really difficult to work with. Impact asked her to come to tapings when it was, safe to do so. She said no. They asked her to drop the Impact World Championship. She said no.
No, she said give me more money.
Yeah, and she wanted more money, and she was just being a very, very
allegedly.
Yeah, obviously all this is with the word allegedly written before it. But she's just been very unreasonable, very horrible, and she's going to end in AEW, isn't she?
I really hope not. Like, she's an awful person. Allegedly.
If she does come back and wrestle, she needs a year where she needs to go and find herself and literally have actions meet consequences. Actions have met consequences. She's lost her job at Impact, but she needs to spend a year in the real world right now where
she's only like 23 years old, isn't she? She's still very young.
Yeah, but so she's got a year of growing up to do then. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I mean. She clearly needs some growing up to do because she's just not a very nice person. And I feel like at some point
there was a tweet circulating saying that look at Randy Orton. WWE gave him chance after chance, and now look at him. He's a fairly respectable member of society. My guys, everybody. Randy was caught saying the N-word a year ago on stream. On the kind of stream right now, right? Rhys, if you said the N-word on stream right now, you'd be cancelled. George, if you said the N-word right now on stream, you'd be cancelled. Shaun, it's your very first broadcasting stream with us. If you said it, you'd be cancelled. And probably TWM will be cancelled too. Randy Orton said it, nothing happened to him. He's come around on his views. I appreciate that. He's come around on his views. But it took him that long, right? We should not encourage that behavior with Tessa Blanchard just because she's talented. She usually clicks up and looks sharp or get the fuck out of this industry.
I actually don't really have that much of an interest in Tessa Blanchard as a wrestler. I didn't think she was very captivating. So
I've seen her on Impact. She's not that great. I mean, I don't think AEW need her that badly. They just need to learn how to book women in the first place.
Well, they're a bit screwed with their women's division at the moment because half of them are somewhere else.
No, can't really injured.
Yeah, or
literally,
injured. But injured. But you've got Britt Baker who's injured, but she's on AEW TV every single week, and she is the best thing going.
No, well, her and it's going to be stressful because Big Swole, they're going to tell her to not come to tapings no more, and it's stressful.
Yeah, because of Cedric. Which is obviously a big
and I think Big Swole is actually the best thing that they've got going.
I was going to say that
feud is amazing. That match at All Out, I'm really looking forward to it.
Obviously, the issue with Impact at the moment is they are taping a lot of their content very far in advance. They taped a lot of stuff up to the end of June, which they did ask her to be in part of, and she said no. So obviously she was intended to be in the main event of Slammiversary, defending her World Heavyweight Championship in a 5-pack challenge versus Michael Elgin, who was suspended, is now fired after a backstage altercation with Sami Callihan. After that, he has now been fired, among many other things. Ace Austin, Trey, and someone fill in the gap. Who's the fifth member?
Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards, that's the one. How did I remember Trey and Ace Austin but forget Eddie Edwards?
The only former world champion, Eddie Edwards.
Former American Wolf, and I love them.
They were great.
I think that says everything about the way that Eddie Edwards does in the book. But it's amazing that there's somebody whose gimmick is literally, "I'll fuck your wives and mothers," and he's less problematic than Michael Elgin.
Yeah. Apparently, another thing that Tessa Blanchard was doing, she was refusing to record promos and send them in to Impact for them to use on TV as sort of an explanation for her to still be in TV, but to still be in TV but not be there in the arena. She obviously refused to do them. Rhys has put his notes Dagger, but I am not brilliant on my current Impact. Who is Dagger?
Tessa Blanchard's main squeeze.
Okay, apparently he's gone as well.
Yeah, apparently he's gone as well. Amazing.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, Dagger also appeared in Super Strong Style 16. I believe he fought, I want to say Kyle?
Yeah, I think so.
In the first round, and then challenged for the tag titles afterwards. He might not.
Good old Fletch.
Someone else. Mr. Impact Blog has said that they should add Cousin Jake into that match. He's worked his arse off lately.
The main event, Cousin Jake.
The interesting situation for this Tessa Blanchard thing is she still has possession of the Impact World Championship. Will we see that again? No, Moose has got the TNA World title.
Is she going to yeet it into the bin on MLW?
Nah, she's going to make Impact buy it back off eBay.
Josh Matthews on eBay clicking bid on a $60,000 belt. Turns out it's just a replica.
He gets beaten by Vince McMahon. Just, no, I want it.
He's going to rock up at AAA with it and defend it, and finally defend it where it belongs in a six-sided ring.
No, to be honest, I think that
yes, Rhys.
Tessa Blanchard versus Sexy Star for the Impact World Championship is just that just sums up 2020 wrestling, doesn't it?
Obviously, she has ties to both current frontrunners in wrestling, WWE, with the Mae Young Classic. She competed in that, and obviously with AEW because her papa, Tully Blanchard, is Shaun Spears' manager. But she's bad news, so neither of them should sign her. She should go work in McDonald's for a year, think about what she's done, then maybe come back.
Oh, even McDonald's got some standards. Nah, she should go away and do nothing for a year. Just learn.
I do think that at some point one of us is going to walk into McDonald's and we're just going to get served by a former wrestler that's been released because of something they've said or done.
I will literally be like, Trent, I'm not spoken to you in ages, my guy.
Trent?
How you doing? So, Travis, I'm not spoken to you in ages.
What did Trent say? Leave him alone.
Oh well.
Yeah, right.
He was. Yeah.
That's a sketchier one. That's not concrete.
Nah, I'm sorry. It's just a thing, right? I always used to mistake two wrestlers, and I just did it there.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Obviously, what are we gonna do? What is Impact gonna do with the world title picture? Are they gonna leave it as a triple threat? Are they gonna add in some other wrestlers?
I think that we should ask Mr. Impact Blog. Mr. Impact
Blog, what do you think
they're gonna do?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, he said Cousin Jake.
Yeah, I know, but I think.
Cousin
No,
Jake.
but what do you think they'll actually do? And that's what we'd like to see.
I hear this young whippersnapper coming up the ranks. Don't know if you know him, Ken Shamrock.
I would
Ken
love
Shamrock is part of one of the worst matches I saw in 2019.
Which one?
Oh my god, there was more than one. No, against Moose.
They could have moves with the TNA title just come in.
I was about to say that as it stands on Wikipedia, the greatest website in the world, they are pitching this match as a fatal 4-way. So it says Ace Austin versus Eddie Edwards versus Trey versus to be announced. So I wouldn't mind seeing Moose in here because
Mr. Impact Blog has replied. I'm sorry.
He has, and he said add Sammy, maybe James Storm. James Storm would be a great shout. Isn't he with NWA Power?
He is, yeah. He's NWA.
NWA basically called most of their roster the other day.
The cold? What do you mean? Oh, as in they said you can't go anywhere else?
No, as in released them all.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, so they did a Weatherspoons?
Yes, they did.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
We aren't paying you, go away. Interesting fact about James Storm. Did you know that AJ Styles' WWE theme song was originally made for him?
Yes.
For his two brief NXT matches he had, they made what is now called Phenomenal for James Storm.
Yeah, that would be the instrumental. I imagine they put the hip hop on top because they thought they were going to get
the lyrics.
The homophobic guys from Ring of Honor. I forget what their name is.
Yeah. Who? Do you mean the Briscoes?
Yes, them.
How did I guess that?
Because they're homophobic.
Yeah, fair point. But I wouldn't mind seeing Moose back in this because obviously he's got the Impact World Championship or TNA Impact World Championship.
But Impact have been building towards Moose versus EC3 for the longest time.
Yes, and obviously that is probably what's going to happen because they have been teasing many released WWE superstars going to Slammiversary. So I would like to see Trey versus Ace Austin versus Eddie Edwards versus Miro for the Impact World Championship and see Rusev finally win a world title.
Rusev Mukutria, Rusev
Machka.
However, he is still beating up black people, so hopefully he should.
Right, okay. I don't ever have anything to say to Joe when he comes up with this stuff.
No. Like this is the thing. If you want a full hypothesis, I can give it on here. I can give it on the stream. Whatever.
And just no. To also add on to the 2 releases we've had from TNA, we'll make it up to 4. One half of the Crist brothers, Jake and obviously Joey Ryan, have both been released from their contracts and will be working in KFC. No, KFC's too. No, KFC's too good. They'll be working in Favorite Chicken.
Favorite?
That's shit.
Favorites?
I have never heard of that. What?
Nah, you know what? Yeah, man. They're going to be working at.
If you say Morley's, I'm going to come to your house and punch you because Morley's is good.
Nah, I wouldn't offend you like that. You know, like I know how important Morley's are from people south of the river. You know? Like Shaun, what's the worst chicken shop you know?
Jack's. Jack's is pretty bad.
Whereabouts are you from, Shaun? Shaun, where
Worcester.
are you from? Worcester. Right, okay.
Yeah, Jack's. That's where Joey Ryan deserves to work because, and this is my opinion, not TWM, but I feel pretty confident saying this. Joey Ryan is trash.
Yeah.